1, then the number 3 on his phone. There was silence. Mr. Federico would be listening to the line. Once he'd told Ramos in a weird whisper that he could hear wiretaps. This was, of course, bullshit, but nobody told him so. The man had said years ago when he was thinking of hiring Ramos, "All communications between me and you, everything, will happen in person or by code. And if it's in person, I'm going to wand you with a scanner." "Yes, sir." And even then we keep our words vague, keep them ambiguous. You know what ambiguous is? Angel Ramos had believed he should be insulted at that, but with Mr. Federico you let a lot slide. He'd said he did know the meaning and he would take the advice to heart. And he'd also chosen wisely not to point out that saying vague and ambiguous was pretty much redundant. Now, in this grim warehouse, mobile pressed against his ear, Ramos heard 3 tones as Mr. Federico pressed the buttons of the payphone. Ramos had memorized the pitch of the keys. This was 999. Ramos pressed 2. The line disconnected. "What?" Billy Frey asked, then cried, "Tell me!" His voice was high and loud, but the walls of the waterfront warehouse were thick. No one outside could hear. Ramos lifted a black Glock pistol from his back waistband. No need to work the slide. A gun without a round in the chamber was a brick. Billy Frey stared at it. "No, you can't do it. You can't!" "I must believe him. I can't do this." Well, Angel Ramos stuffed spongy orange plugs in each of his ears, stepped close to Billy Frey, and fired. Twice was enough, but Ramos opted for one more. Thinking of the girl. The session that Alan Seybold had just concluded in the main ballroom of the East Coast Writers' Conference had been pretty good. The signing afterward even better. Seybold finished the last of the autographs. There'd been nearly 200 in the queue, not bad, and stretched. He doused his hands with Purell sanitizer and enjoyed both the cooling sensation on his sore digits and the thought of the deaths of the million germs that had leapt from his fans' fingers to his during the obligatory handshakes. One of these fans now circled back and asked breathlessly if she could take a selfie with him, and Seybold said, "Sure." He brushed his thinning brown hair back and tugged his dark gray sport coat together to cover the bit of belly he'd developed in the past year or so. Book tours and writing about serial killers for 3 or 4 hours a day, all that ass time could take a toll. Still, for a balding 45-year-old with a salt-and-pepper goatee, he believed he was holding his own. He put his arm around the fan's shoulder and felt her trembling with excitement. After the shot, she turned to him. "Mr. Seybold, I wanted to ask a question at the event, but I didn't get the chance. You said a big studio's doing a movie of the girl on the ship." "That's right." "Oh, that's so cool." A frown. "I don't think you should have killed Steve's partner. She was a nice lady." The intense smile returned. "But I forgive you. I wanted to ask, who's going to play Steve?" "I can't really talk about it." "Even if you just whisper it in my ear?" "Sorry." "Bad boy." She winked, charmingly adoring and flirty, and vanished. Seybold glanced at his watch. The conference wasn't finished for the day. The awards banquet was later this evening, but now he had a few hours of downtime for a shower and a scotch. A woman's voice from behind him. "That was great, Alan." He turned to see Maggie Day, the local Baltimore author he'd just been in conversation with on stage, as the ECWC program described it. "Hey, yeah, I enjoyed it." "Think it went well," she said, her blue eyes looking steadily into his, which were hazel. Yes, it had been a good session, he reflected once more. He'd enjoyed the back and forth as they batted around their assigned topic, story versus character in today's crime fiction. They were a good blend of authors, too, because they approached the craft of writing commercial fiction differently. Maggie was a plotter,